This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. My good friend George Liddard. How are we, geez?
Good, thanks, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Look, wow, what a whirlwind year or so for you and Maisie. I was just speaking to you in there. You were like, right, after this, I'm actually having a little bit of a break now because it's just been back to back to back to back to back. But I suppose in the Matchroom gym, on the Matchroom stable, that is any fighter's dream.
100%. You know, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that they keep giving me to be on such great cards. You know, so early on in my career, and obviously the camps in here, they're no joke. You know, we really do graft. So you know, back to back to back camps now. I think this is my third one in 4 months. This fight, so. Nice and active, but what more can you ask for? So,
let's talk a little bit about that last fight of yours on that Joshua Helenius undercard. Just firstly, how special was that moment now, reflecting, looking back on everything? Someone said to you 3 years ago, George, you're going to be fighting on an Anthony Joshua undercard. You probably would have gone, fuck off, mate.
No, it's incredible. You know, I bumped into some friends of mine on holiday after the fight, and I was actually round their house watching Joshua beat White.
Wow.
You know, years ago, and then to be boxing on it, you know, a few years later, crazy. You know, even for them it was like, wow, you know, sitting around their house watching it, and a few years later, I'm on a card at the O2. So, wow, honestly, it was an amazing moment for me and my family. So, you know, they've been on the journey with me, and yeah, they couldn't be more pleased as well.
George, let's talk about the fight. It was a late replacement opponent, one of Nielsen's boys. Big up, Mark. Tough guy. Gave you a really, really tough fight, but also probably showed more than just how capable you are.
100%, you know, it was a tough fight, but in a way I'm grateful for it because, you know, blew my first few out of the water quite early on, you know. Hadn't gone, you know, the full 3 rounds at all. Hadn't done full 3 rounds, so to do 6, you know, at that kind of pace, so early on in my career with a, you know, a very capable opponent, you know, good record, you know, big step up, so I think it showed a different part of my game that I can also, you know, box a bit on the back foot, put shots together. I actually could put the shots together without them, you know, going down. So showed a few more different shots that I have up on my sleeve, and I think a good kind of showcase, especially for the fans and for the people, you know, that were there. Just I've heard great reviews and a lot of people saying, you know, one of the fights of the night. So to get that kind of applause on an AJ card, yeah, wow, very grateful.
When you look back at sort of the last 12 months and how everything's mapped up, has it been pretty perfect?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I think I made my debut November 26th, I believe, something like that on the Dylan White undercard. So, you know, been busy, now my 5th fight in under a year. So, yeah, couldn't really have gone much better, you know, 4 from 4 with 3 knockouts. Hopefully, you know, well, going 5-0, September 30th, you know, God willing. Yeah, couldn't really ask for better, you know, big cards and big opportunities, and there's a lot more to come,
George, I've come down here a couple of times, but I think I messaged someone in here recently saying it's the busiest I've ever seen it. I've been using the phrase iron sharpens iron a lot today because it really is. Seeing Joey in as one of the first sessions this morning, I mean, for him to I've only really just come back to Essex and looking as sharp as he is. Conor Benn, we're looking like he could be fighting next week in Orlando. Yourself, Maisie's got dates, Jordan Thompson, September 30th. A very good time for everyone involved. Talk of the devil.
Big man Joe, you know, 2-time world champion. Yeah, like you're saying, iron sharpens iron. You know, being around these great fighters, it's only going to bring me on. And you know, watching them, studying them face to face, you know, and getting the advice from them that they maybe didn't get early in their career, but you know, someone as experienced as Tony Sims, you know, managing and coaching them, and I've got Kev as well, obviously training me. It really is, you know, I feel like I have one of the perfect teams at this point in my career, and going forward, you know, they're only going to bring me on. For being so early in my career and so young, you're like a sponge, you know, you take everything in, and you really are moulded by who's around you. Like they say, you're the average of the people you're around. So if I can be that, I won't be far from the top, will I, with all these great names around me?
Well, look, I just want to lastly say, I know you work with Catchweight, and obviously the West Ham thing was a big thing for you growing up.
Big up Paddy.
Big up Paddy on that one. As a West Ham fan, I know you said to me after the AJ fight, you watched that about 9 million times back. I reckon you're still watching it back now. But to have the club on board, a club that you supported growing up, your boyhood team, I know how special that would be for me with Southampton. To have that so young and early on in your career, it must be a really incredible feeling.
Yeah, no, incredible. You know, to have my boyhood club behind me. Wow, just like that video, like you say, still every now and then have a little watch of it. Just wow, honestly, like it's a pinch me moment. You know, like you feel like you're dreaming. I remember being there, doing the video, and it's like I'm really here. Like, you know, if I rewind a couple of years before that, you know, I didn't know where I was going at one point with lockdown and this and that. So now to be back on this path and back on a journey that I know is made for me, yeah, incredible, incredible.
Well, George, that's Joe telling me to hurry up. He's giving me my lift back to the station. George, always a pleasure, my friend. Just a final message?
Yeah, no, just big thanks to all the people supporting me, you know, all my team, and, you know, my sponsors as well. I couldn't do it without all of you. You know, you drive me every day. So, yeah, on to the next one and then on to a big year again next year.
George Liddard, top man, thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social.